The debate over who succeeds more, self-made people or those born with a silver spoon, will keep reoccurring, and in the entertainment industry, it has led to some really intense arguments. Some believe attending fancy drama schools or being wealthy gives you all the connections you need to become successful, while some argue that talents and the will to succeed are enough to take you places. Today we'll discuss the backgrounds of some famous actors with the hopes of finding answers. We'll be counting on you to help end this debate, so stick around until the end. Ryan Gosling. We'll be starting with everyone's favorite Ken, Ryan Gosling. The award-winning Canadian actor with films that have grossed over $2 billion worldwide was not always the main man we know. With a traveling salesman for a father and a secretary for a mother, there was no way he could be categorized as being born with a silver spoon. To make things worse, his parents separated when he was 13, so his mother was left alone, carrying the brunt of the finances. Besides the financial woes at home, Gosling also found himself fighting against bullies at school. Talk about a tough beginning. However, these began to turn around when he got a role as a child actor for the revival of Disney Channel's The Mickey Mouse Club. Little Ryan had known from a young age that he wanted to be an actor, and with his talent and support of his mother, he started auditioning. They'd often have to scrape together money for bus fares, and at a point, Ryan had to get a job to help his mother. But regardless, he didn't stop trying. When his contract with Disney ended, he continued to showcase his talents at any opportunity he got until he was cast for another role. So Ryan barely had any spoons while growing up, but his talents and determination to succeed led him to the top. The next on our list was not just born with a silver spoon, he was born with a platinum spoon. Jaden Smith, born to actors Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, he had all the silver he needed to succeed, and his parents didn't hesitate to put him on the path. Jaden made his film debut in the 2006 movie The Pursuit of Happiness. He played the role of Will's son and was outstanding. Then in 2008, he was in the remake movie The Day the Earth Stood Still with Keanu Reeves. 2 years later, he starred in a blockbuster movie, The Karate Kid, along with Jackie Chan. It will be unfair to say he got those roles mainly because of his dad's influence, because he's incredibly talented, but it surely played a part. It's evident in the recent state of his acting career. His Netflix series, The Get Down, was canceled despite it initially showing great promise. The lukewarm reception of the series caused him to focus more on his music career and only act once in a while. Next up is Demi Moore. Demi's biological father took flight before she was born, so the first 3 months of her life were without a father figure. Her mother remarried when she was 3 months old, but that didn't change things much because he was an advertising salesman who earned barely enough to feed himself. Growing up, she lived in a trailer park, and sometimes they had to move because of her stepfather's job. Things were obviously not that great financially, but Demi also suffered emotionally due to her mom and stepfather not getting along. They divorced and reconciled twice. Besides that, her mom had a long arrest record, which included drunk driving and arson. So Demi was mostly neglected or left to fend for herself. It's no surprise that the day after she turned 16, she left home and didn't look back. She initially aimed to work her way to the top by being a model, but she had to venture into acting. It wasn't easy for her to get gigs, so she had to lie and sneak her way in to get acknowledged. But once she got in, she was unstoppable. She got cast in several roles and put her best foot forward each time to ensure she got called back for more. By the mid-1990s, she was the highest paid actress at the time. Now, Demi is a renowned actress and producer with several accolades to her name. It wasn't an easy beginning, but she made sure to find her way to the top. The same cannot be said for the great Angelina Jolie. There's no doubt about Angelina Jolie's incredible talent, but being born to the actor Jon Voight gave her a leg up in her career. Her first acting role was Tosh Warner in Lookin' to Get Out, a movie written by her dad. After a wonderful performance playing her father's daughter in the movie, it was certain she had a bright career in the movie industry. However, things weren't as easy. After starring in several of her brother James Haven's student films while he attended the USC School of Cinema, she decided to start auditioning for proper roles. It wasn't easy for her, not because of a lack of talent, but because directors often complained of her demeanor being too dark. So her father taught her the tricks to assuming any character she needed to be, and when she starred in her first major studio film, Hackers, they knew Jon Voight's daughter was not to be overlooked. Next up is none other than Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio, the Titanic star, was the perfect fit for the role of Jack, not only because because of his talent, but because he could relate to the character. Born to a father who was an underground comic artist and distributor, and a mother who was a legal secretary, he grew up dirt poor. The neighborhood he grew up in was plagued with prostitution, crime, and violence. Luckily, he didn't go down that path. When Leonardo discovered his penchant for acting, he decided to give up his initial dream of being a marine biologist by dropping out of high school. Although it later turned out to be a great decision, things were initially tough. Bagging roles for commercials and small shows had come easy when he was younger, but when he decided to face it squaringly, it became a different ball game. First, he couldn't find an agent. And then when he did, he was told to change his name, but he refused. Then he started to go out for more auditions. He counted about 100 before he finally started to get roles. By the time he starred in Titanic, he had become a global sensation. As of 2019, his films have grossed over $7.2 billion worldwide, and he's been ranked 8 times as one of the world's highest paid actors. Looking back now, it might be hard to believe that he once had nothing to eat. For this next actor, the story is entirely different. Colin Hanks. There's no Colin without his father, Tom Hanks, literally. Born to a family of actors, he was bound to get exposed to Hollywood earlier than random people who had to start from scratch. However, he didn't launch his acting career until much later. The American actor and comedian was cast in the science fiction Roswell in 1999, and after starring in 2 seasons, people knew of Tom Hanks' son who could crack good jokes, and many people wanted him as part of their movie. So he got to act in the teen comedies Whatever It Takes and Get Over It simultaneously. He also made an appearance in an episode of The OC. A while later, his father decided to put his talents to good use and also create a subtle awareness to those that might have overlooked his son for roles. So Colin got a small role in his father's 8-part miniseries Band of Brothers. Currently, Colin has more than 10 awards to his name, which includes a Golden Globe Award and a Screen Actors Guild Award, indications that he is an incredible actor. However, his father, being Tom Hanks, got him to places that would have been tough getting into. For J-Lo, things were a lot tougher. Jennifer Lopez. The American actress Jennifer Lopez wasn't dirt poor, but she can't be classified as wealthy. There were times when her family seriously struggled with finances and they barely scraped by. But Jennifer didn't use her family's background as an excuse not to pursue her dreams. Growing up in her Puerto Rican home, there was a lot of singing, dancing, and acting. All of these gave Jennifer so much joy, but she enjoyed dancing the most. When she was 18, she dropped out of college to enroll full-time at Manhattan's Phil Black studio. Her parents were displeased because going to college was supposed to be her ticket out of poverty, and they didn't speak nor allow her into their home for 8 months. During that period, Jennifer was forced to bunk in the dance studio's office, but her determination later paid off. A few years later, she was doing what she enjoyed most and making a living out of it. She later ventured into acting, but remaining in the entertainment industry was all that mattered. Now she is regarded as one of the most influential entertainers of her time. If that isn't success, what is? Next up, Zoe Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz grew up with all sorts of precious spoons within her reach. We're talking silver, gold, even platinum, and it's no surprise because her parents are the famous Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet. Besides that, her paternal grandmother, Roxy Roker, was a notable actress, and her paternal grandfather was filmmaker Cy Kravitz. In fact, her stepfather is Jason Momoa, so everything about Zoe screams wealth. However, this wealth didn't immediately translate into success for her. Zoe had to partake in so many minor, non-relevant roles, she even found it hard to get auditions. She once described how she wasn't allowed to audition for a role in The Dark Knight Rises for some strange reason, and her dad's fame or stepfather's connections was not enough to get her in. However, she kept working hard, and soon she landed roles in big films like X-Men First Class, The Brave One, Mad Max, Fury Road, and Divergent. So looking through this list, it's safe to say that being born into wealth doesn't guarantee success, neither does having humble beginnings prevent you from succeeding. Only hard work, talent, and dedication really does. What do you think? Kindly let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video.